Alright, Boob 2. Back today with a little bit of rotary action, honestly. It's been a while since I've done anything rotary related. Well, other than build the motor that's over there. But had somebody request a walk around of the first gen RX-7, so that's what I'm going to do since I haven't done one in well over a year. So let's get turned around and let's do a little talking about the car itself. So this is a really dirty first gen, well technically it's an S2, so it's a 82 model, so it's between the whatever the 81 and 81 to 83 is the S2 series. So it's got a S3 GSL SE motor, transmission, and rear end, and it's been converted. It's pretty much a GSL SE underneath, except for the way it looks. So I guess we'll start with the wheels. So the wheels on this car are Rota Rich Boy wheels, since this is technically a track car, so I don't want to put really nice wheels on it and scuff them up with tire changes and everything else, so Rota's it is. Custom decaling by me truly, yours truly here. It has the nice aluminum louvers on it and a full custom 2.5 inch exhaust all the way back. So the car even has full techno toy tuning coilover conversion. So it has the coilover spindles, converted spindles in the front where they cut it and weld a custom coilover shackle to them, and then it's also got the lowering brackets with the coilover that mounts into the strut tower in the rear. I've never had a problem with the rear strut tower. Everybody says, oh, you'll push it through the push the shock through the top of the strut tower, and I haven't ever had that issue. Maybe people have installed them incorrectly or something, but yeah. So the car is in need of a it's in need of a paint job really bad. It's been resprayed before, and it's got a whole bunch of rough spots on it. That's one of the big ones. Yoda, or not Yoda, but Guru, whatever. Here's another rough spot. The only spots of rust on the whole car are technically on the sunroof panel, and I've actually got glass for it, but I never run it because it's too damn hot in Tennessee. And then the rear quarter over here has got a little bit of rust bubble, but no bend rod or anything like that. The interior is pretty much stock, minus the few modifications that I've done to it. You know, Apex everything. So it's got some 3D printed bits and pieces, if you look around, that I've made, like the defrost vent up there, a few things like that. I've had some requests to 3D print those and sell them. I don't feel comfortable selling them. Maybe if you want them bad enough, I'll print you a set, and if you pay shipping, I'll send them to you, because they're not made out of something that survives the heat in the summer. Same thing with my gauge pods that I printed. With the way the plastic that I use, which is PLA, it still has a lot of moisture in it, and then the heat pulls that moisture out, and they'll shrink or expand depending on how it's printed. So got your cup holder, custom shift knob, got a narrow band. I've got water temp, oil temp, oil pressure on the 3 gauges, and I've got a removable steering wheel with a Grant steering wheel that I really don't like, and it really stinks because I've put my sweaty hands all over the suede material, and now it smells like sweat all the time. NRG quick release hub, it's really nice. And then of course the seat that I have a video on, I don't remember if I ever did a video of me installing it or not, but it's a Corbeau FX1 Pro. It fits if you don't have the factory door panels. I'm not sure If you do have the factory door panels where it rides on top of the metal there on the door panel, it might rub in the shoulder bolster there. But other than that, it fits in the car. No weird hassles with like the transmission tunnel or the door cards down there or anything. It's sitting on a Techno Toy Tuning plate. I'm honestly not really too impressed with it. I mean, it's got a lot of adjustability and stuff in it, but you pretty much have to set it up outside the car and then put it in the car, because you can't get to anything that's on this side. And that might just be my seat, but most, bucket seats are built like that, so you really can't get to anything on this side of the seat to adjust it, so you have to adjust it outside the car, which is a hassle. And it really doesn't get the seat very low in the car, which is the whole point of going to a bucket seat, is to get the seat low, and so that you're lower in the car so that you have a better feel for what the car is doing around you. It's got I think the shifter that's in it is a eBay Mazda short throw. It's supposed to be like a 20% reduction in not a Mazda, but a Miata. It's like a 20% reduction Miata throw, but in the RX-7, since the turret is taller or something along those lines, it's significantly shorter. It's almost got no throw to it, but it's nice. It's nice and it engages really well. Fan switch, just in case the thermocouple that switches the fan on is not working. So that's pretty much the interior of the car. Everything in the back is stock. Toolbox, because RX-7 in case you break down. So let's go and talk about what's underneath the car, or underneath the engine bay. US shit box, or the turret as I call it. So if you've seen my MSD box video, then you know what's done to the car, but I'll go over it anyways. So it's a factory. I don't think it's a street ported GSL SE. I do believe that the ports themselves have been cleaned up and smoothed, but they're not enlarged in any way. So it's got a Racing Beat downdraft intake with a Weber 48 IDA. It has 42 Venturis in it. I just looked at it the other day. I have 210 mains with F11 emulsion tubes, and I just stuck 180 air correctors in for the main throttle section, and then for the idle section, it's got I believe it's F70 for the bottom, and then like a 120 corrector. But I'll put what the Weber, what's internally in it down in the description below, and you can look at it. So it's been a rebuilt 13B 6-port motor from an 84-85 GSL SE. I was told it was built with Atkins stuff. Runs good. Has some sort of bearing noise, but it has had that ever since I put it in the car. And it runs good, and all the rotor faces had 90 pounds plus cold. eBay special radiator. At the time, it was like $110. I don't know if they've gone up or down and since then. It's a big, I believe it's a SPA fan. It's like a 16-inch. It doesn't actually fit on the radiator. I had to trim it and so on and so forth. I have a 4-inch. Let's see if I can show it. See if you can see it. I believe it's a 4-inch fan on the oil cooler down there, just for sitting in traffic, and I do not believe you can see it where it's at. So it is right there. But 2 MSD boxes. These are the 6AL2s, so they have a rev limiter in them. The rev limiter is set to 8200. Since this is a GSL SE motor, you don't really spin them that fast. It's got a Carter fuel pump. The fuel pressure is regulated to 3.5 to 4 psi, depending on how warm the regulator gets. Yes, the pressure will change because the regulator gets hot and metal expands and so on and so forth. Plus the fuel pump gets warm, so it's not pushing as hard. It's got a racing beat header on it to a custom 2.5-inch exhaust, like I said. And that's pretty much it. It's got some Techno Toy tuning camber plates with their adjustable, their riser, because I like function over form. So if you actually look at the car, it's got wheel gap. I actually have some photos of it when the fender would come down and you couldn't even see the top of the tread of the tire. It rode decent, but it pretty much, you had to ride around with the shocks full hard all the time on compression, and it didn't really ride all that great. But it looked good, but it didn't handle well. So, and that's what this car is for. So that's pretty much it. Of course, you got, Chewie, Luke, and Han that make sure that we get across the galaxy safely. That's pretty much it for the car. I might take some like rolling shots or whatever you want to call it, some B-roll of it, and stick some music over it, but there's not really any reason to. You've seen the car. It's definitely not a grade A car. It is a 50-footer for sure. There's a whole lot of nicks and dents and stuff like that on the car that you can't really see on camera. That doesn't really come across on camera very well. But yeah, so I haven't really done much to this car other than drive it and enjoy it. Still working on tuning the carburetor, because carburetors are very finicky, and I've learned quite a few nuanced things about Webers that you don't really find on the internet very well. So I'm gonna end this off here, guys. That's a walk around of the turd. I think this is probably rendition, 2.5 or whatever, or 3 of the car. And yeah, if you have any questions on the car, or you want me to give you some more info on some things on the first gen platform that I've learned, comment down below, I guess, or go check out one of the guys that local to me that's more into these, which is Rad Potential. He does a lot. If you haven't heard of him, he does way more about stuff with first gens than I do. This is just pretty much my first real big project car after college. This one is the full race car. This one is gonna be a big project, or it is a big project, but we're getting there with it. I'm to the point now to where it's, for the car to move forward, I've got to spend a significant amount of money, and I'm just trying to figure out how and what direction I want to spend that money. So yeah, so do all the YouTube bullshit, and until next time, guys, happy brapping. Oh, look at this thing. It is disgusting.